Assalamualaikum students, how are you? I hope that you will be fine and enjoying your vacations at your home. Students, today we have to solve the page number 27 of the level 8 subject science, and here we have a question number 2, which is label the parts and also color the diagram. So students, here you can see that we have a diagram of the heart. So we will label all the parts of the heart one by one, and also we discuss the associated functions with that. So students, first I elaborate the term heart. Heart is a very vital organ of your body, and it is the pumping organ of your body which basically pumps the blood, and there is two types of the bloods which is present inside the heart: oxygenated and deoxygenated. Oxygenated blood is that having concentration of oxygen, and deoxygenated is that which has the poor concentration of oxygen. So first we start from the chambers of the heart. Students, you can see here there are the 4 chambers of the heart: 1, 2, 3, 4. The upper 2 chambers are thin walled and the lower 2 chambers are thick walled. The upper 2 thin walled chambers are present. One is present at the right side of the heart and other is present at the left side of the heart. The chamber which is present at the right side of the heart will be called as right atrium, and the chamber which is present on the left side of the heart will be called as left atrium. So students, right atrium and left atrium are the upper 2 thin walled chambers of the heart. The lower 2 thick walled chambers are called as ventricles. The left ventricle, which is present on the left side of the heart, and the right ventricle, which is present on the right side of the heart. So we label them as right ventricle, and left ventricle. Students, left ventricle is the longest and also the strongest. So we feel the heartbeat on the left side of our heart. Now we discuss that the oxygenated blood and the deoxygenated blood comes from where and enters where. So first we discuss the right side. In the right atrium, the blood which comes will be deoxygenated. So this blood will become from the 2 major veins which are known as superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. So we write here superior vena cava and the lower one inferior vena cava. Student, we called it as superior because it collects the deoxygenated blood from the upper portion of the body, and we called it as inferior vena cava because it collects the blood from the lower portion of the body. Students, these both major veins collects the deoxygenated blood and enters into the right atrium, from where they moves into the right ventricle, and then this deoxygenated blood will goes into the pulmonary artery. So we label here pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery is an artery which carries this deoxygenated blood to the lungs for oxygenation. So students, now we discuss the left side of the heart. In the left atrium, the blood which comes will be oxygenated, and from where it comes with the help of pulmonary vein. So we label this part as pulmonary vein. This pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood, enters into the left atrium, from where it enters into the left ventricle. When left ventricle contracts, it pushes the blood into the major artery which is known as aorta. As you can see students, aorta gives various branches, and these branches move inside the body downward and giving oxygenated blood to the different parts of the body except lungs. This last part is known as the septum. This is the partition between the right and the left ventricle. So this is how our heart works. So students, these all were the parts of the heart and their associated functions. Now we discuss another diagram which is of a neuron, or we can say a nerve cell. Neuron or nerve cell is a type of cell which is present in the nervous system. And we have to label here the different parts of this cell. Also we discuss the associated functions of that. Students, nerve cell is meant for transmitting the various messages and the signal inside the body so that overall body parts coordinate with each other. Now we discuss how this nerve cell coordinates with the help of its various structures. So, this is a large central body of the neuron, and inside which you can see a central nucleus. These short branched processes are known as dendrites. So we write here dendrites, and this long process which is single is known as axon. So we write here axon. These fine processes are the terminal buttons, and this layer is known as myelin sheath. Now we discuss how all these parts associate with one another. Students, the dendrites, which are short, fine processes, carries or receives messages, and they carry it to the central body of neuron, from where axon carries this message away from the body of the neuron towards its end. So, axon is a connection between the adjacent neurons. These terminal buttons are meant for sending the signal from one neuron to another neuron. And this sheath protects the layer of the axon. So in this way, the neuron or the nerve cell functions. Students, that's all for today's diagram and their labeling. I hope that you clearly understand both the diagrams and their associated parts and the functions. We will meet tomorrow in our next lecture. Till then, Allah Hafiz.